Welcome back, everybody, finally, to another episode of Unfinished Business. I'm Tyler. We're joined by Matt, Corey, and Taylor. And we just want to start off this episode by saying, guys, we're really sorry about last week for not getting an episode out. Matt got grounded, so we had to shut it down for a week. So, no, I'm just kidding. So I was away on work. Corey was away on vacation. Didn't work out. We tried to get something going for you guys.
Party!
But if you missed Corey's Snap story, you really missed out. Or Instagram story, I mean.
Instagram story. Extremely Corey, you missed out.
HBO Live story.
Yeah, for sure. So just to get us started, guys, is there anything you want to talk about that's in your world of disc golf right now?
Yeah, so this is a story from weekend before last because we missed last weekend. But real quick, I did film these for videos, so I took the week off and just played a lot of disc golf Thanksgiving week. So I drove to a new course that they recently put in just to try it out, see how it was. So I was there playing. I thought it was just 9 holes. And while I was there, on the other side of the property, there was like unmarked, like fresh tee pads and baskets, like they were just going in. So I just kind of vibed over there and just to see what was popping. First course, easy part course. The second course was so sick. It was like the most fun course I played in a very long time. It was just like such a surprise. I had like such a refreshing disc golf experience of like I didn't even know this course was going to be here, and it was sick.
How far is it from you?
28 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
What made it so fun though?
I think definitely just like the juxtaposition of like easy style park course, like 250 foot holes, where the other side was like kind of more rugged, obviously like freshly cut, and most of the holes were like 450 or longer. So it was just a very different type of vibe and just really different from the courses in my area overall. So it was just kind of something new.
That's cool.
Okay.
Anyone else got anything?
I'm in Kansas right now. It's for work, but I've already filmed one video. I'm going to film another one tomorrow. Yeah, Kansas is windy. I understand why no one wants to play here. So, yeah. And then when I get back, I've got a mystery box from Bonanza that I have to film a video with. I don't know what's inside. I don't trust what's inside.
Completely corny.
Yeah. That. When that's on the front, I don't even want to know what's on the inside. So
Big troll.
Yeah. Little troll.
Yeah, for sure.
He said it himself. You're allowed to make the joke.
I don't know how tall Anthony is, but he is like quadzilla though. I mean,
yeah, I think he's like 5'6". I think he's 5'6".
He's like thick with like 3 C's. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
No one clip this and send that.
Yeah, do tell. Go on.
Bonanza, 3 C's, thick.
For reference, I just talked to him about being on like last week. If he sees that, he's not coming on.
No.
I mean, he could just be like, "Yo, gas me up. Like I'm coming right now."
Maybe so, but
Anthony, if you get 500 feet consistently, you're gonna get that 4th C. But we gotta wait on that one.
All right. Respectable.
Matt, you got anything disc golf going on?
Last week as well, we missed the episode, got grounded, as I said. But last week I played the space race, MVP space race, like ace race, whatever you call it. Just failed horribly at the ace race, whatever. I think I got like 8th out of like 25, 30 people. Failed horribly. They did a 1 disc round. I think I got like 5th. Well, I guess that's not failed horribly, but it's still decently bad. And then we just played a casual round afterwards. For reference, the course I was playing is 24 holes. The last time I played it, I finished 4 over, and it's a pretty easy course, but it's like just technical. There's never distance. It never feels bad. Okay. We played just the long tees, which I'm like, I'm going to get diced up. I'm 6 holes in. I'm like, wait, what's my score right now? And someone's like, you're 5 down right now. I'm beating everyone else, not only everyone else on my card, everyone else playing, including like MA2, MA1 guys. Proceed to bogey, par, bogey, finish 1 down over 12 holes, and that's where we ended it off. And the guy that I was beating finished 8 down over 12 holes, and I had plenty of opportunities. As soon as I found out my score, that was it for me.
The end. I was playing around one time with a couple buddies, and like, you know, obviously you're playing well, but I wasn't like really mentally thinking about it. Got through like one of the hardest holes, and I was like, I'm 6 through 6 right now. Like I'm kind of popping off. Finished bogey.
Oh, dude.
And let me ask this question. Okay, during the one disc round, I used a hex, which is like a reasonable thing, and I was putting very well in the one disc round. I wasn't particularly throwing well, but I was putting very well. Should I feel good or bad that people asked me if I regularly putt with a hex afterwards?
Bad, very bad.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I threw like a jumper, like 45 footer, and like laid it right under the basket, like putt style, gave it a bid. Someone's like, "Dang, you always putt with the hex. You're pretty good with that." And I was like,
maybe I should start.
Yeah, so there's a buddy in our group who actually, I'm not kidding you, putts with a Rhino. And when I first met him, I actually thought he was like bad at disc golf because somebody was like, "Yeah, you don't putt with that." And I watched a video about what a Rhino like does. I'm like, why would you ever putt with that? And then I found out he's like halfway decent, but or not halfway decent. He's a good player, but yeah, that's when for sure that people would think like.
Yeah, I was like,
putter you can get is the one that goes in the basket, or 2022 putter of the year birdie marble.
Yes. And if you don't have one of those, use what I had for my first putter, which is a katana.
A katana?
Love it.
Yeah, they're real similar. They're very similar, guys.
When I first started, I had like 5 discs, and none of them were putters. So I didn't think that was a thing. I thought you just threw whatever you had. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what you got to do.
Beginners will do anything but get a disc lower than 10 speed.
Facts.
I didn't know it existed. I didn't know putters were a thing. I thought it was just disc, and then you throw it.
Disc. Yeah, that would make total sense. I mean, when did you start playing though?
Like 2008, 2009, something like that.
Yeah, not a lot of info. I mean, it's hard to think back. I mean, Matt, before your time, when we were in like high school, like
internet,
YouTube was like just starting to like be a thing that you would go on. It was more like, hey, I'm going to go to YouTube for look up how to do something, not like entertainment yet, I would say. Yeah. So you couldn't just look it up on YouTube to figure it out or whatever the case may be. But so this weekend, it was popping off in our disc golf group. Everybody was playing disc golf at some point in time. I played on Friday, and we played like the hardest short course in the area. It's like a dogfight. I absolutely hate this course. And I was leading on the last hole, threw a really good shot on a really awkward hole. The other guy got super lucky. I missed my putt. He made his. We went to extras and lost. So my like clutchness is like all over the place right now with disc golf. But the biggest thing is that in our Discord group, I asked people, I said, hey, we've played the Ryder Cup and everyone played disc golf this past weekend. So what are your power rankings? And that set everything into a tailspin, fire spin, because people were getting upset that they were ranked at this number and this number. I want to say something real quick, okay? This is my like soapbox moment. If you have a disc golf group of like, let's just say like 6+ guys, maybe 8, okay? And you say, hey, guy, I think you are blank.
You broke my concentration.
I know, dude. Guy, you're ranked, let's just say 7th out of our group of 12 guys, right? And you get upset about it. Don't go kicking and crying and say that guy's a jerk. Go out there and either beat that guy or go out there and be better. All right. And I want everyone to hear that who watches us. If you get mad because someone doesn't think you're good enough, go get better and then prove them wrong. So that was the biggest issue in our group, is that people were, and if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking up to right now, because everyone needs to quit crying, go out there and get better.
Or option 3, what my dad always told me, beat them up.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm ready for it. Bring it.
It's either beat them, do better, or beat them up.
That's right.
So,
all right, let's get into this episode, right? So this episode tonight is going to be about manufacturers, all right? So a little bit of information came out in the last week or two about manufacturers, and a fandom survey came out about what manufacturers do people like, not like, and also how have plastics changed a little bit for some people. So we're going to start with a section of 4 sub questions, but we're going to do a section called buy or sell. Right. So it's like a stock, right? If you buy a stock, it's because usually it's on the rise. If you sell a stock, it's because you want to sell it before it crashes, or you're going to say, hey, this is not a very good response. So I'm going to give a statement, and we're going to go around real quick and tell me if you're buying it or selling that statement, and then we can talk about why. So first question is MVP, and by the way, I'm not going to give the results of the fandom right off the bat, right? So that's kind of what spurred these questions. So right off the bat, MVP Axiom Streamline is the people's new favorite plastic. Buy or sell? We'll start with Taylor.
I'm buying.
Matt?
I'm absolutely buying.
Corey?
I don't have any money, but if I did, I would buy it.
Yeah. I'm going to say buy it as well.
Yeah, so, I can explain my answer. I know we're trying to go into opinions a little bit. I think this is such a good marriage of a fringe company that had a very good product and a very likable face and person in the sport coming together, and like people just realizing like, holy crap, these products are actually good. Like, I have a long time said Streamline is so underrated for just cheap single mold plastic of molds that are just really good. Like the Trace, kind of goated. Pilot, kind of goated. So I mean, even without going into MVP Axiom, they make discs real good, and Simon sells them real good, and it's just gonna keep going for a long time.
Simon does sell them real good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think the only thing that MVP had going against it was A, they had James Conrad, but another pro would have been good. They got it in Simon. And B, some of their high-speed distance drivers were just always bored flat. And Simon came in, and what did he want to immediately talk about? How can we put some dome in these discs? So their 2 downsides now are both fixed. Like, these guys are going to be crazy in a couple years. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
I never understood dome in a disc, because if it's bored flat, it's overstable. If it's domey, it's overstable.
I think the parting line. Parting line height is the biggest part.
I think the dome makes it glidier, but more stable. A flat disc makes it faster, but less stable.
Yeah. I think it also depends. In my head, it was drag.
Look at a splice or like a tilt. That's literally board flat.
I know, but like still, like it could be like the bottom mold or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying, like if you take a dome disc and you take a flat disc, my dome disc is going to be more overstable than my flat disc.
But I also do think it depends on molds. In my head, it's you have more exposed to the wind now because you have more drag, and so that's going to slow down the disc quicker, and it's going to make it act more overstable. But it's also going to make it glide as it slows down. In my head, I don't know. That is actually a Bonanza thing, because he'll start talking about the specifics of that one.
Yeah, I don't know, because I've had like I used to throw forces, and I had a domey force that was like the flippiest thing I've ever thrown. So like I guess it just depends.
It has a lot more to do with like how the parting line of the mold like cools. So if you look at where the two like discs are 2 different molds, like the top and the bottom, where that line sets and like how high the shoulder of like the bottom mold comes up, because that's a lot flatter. Higher parting line height is always like way more overstable. So I think in general, like a domier disc has more opportunity to be understable because it's kind of shaping and curving downward. But typically the parting line has a lot more to do with stability, and dome does just give you a lot more glide for the most part.
Yeah, and it may also be from like I know people who say like from mold to mold because of the parting line. If they get the specific disc that is domey, it will make it more or less stable. But it's like entirely dependent on the mold. But in my opinion, most of the time when I'm saying dome, I'm really thinking about distance drivers, and that's where I start to see the more overstable but glidier.
Yeah.
Does anybody like a domey mid?
Yeah.
Really?
I used to throw a domey Mako 3.
What is a domey mid?
I'm just saying, like in general, like if you have like Mako
Like
3 or a Mako is an example pre-3.
The 6-time buzz is really domey, and I hate it.
Like comets can be pretty domey, right?
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
I do have some Supras that I don't know what happened to them. They are like they're flat and then they like bubble up to a dome.
It just feels so
it's
strange
almost
to
like
be
pop toppy, but they're not. Yeah, it's really weird.
It feels so deep. But I want to say something about the MVP thing. I think also, like, we could talk about, yes, Simon is the big proprietor of it, but like also I think a lot of people bought a lot of what was available during COVID and didn't really think about buying MVP necessarily. And then when Simon went to MVP, it was like, you know what? Simon makes this plastic look cool. Let me like go ahead and buy this. Like, I feel like if people already bought MVP and then Simon came, there wouldn't be this big influx. But I feel like everyone bought Innova, everyone bought Discraft, and then Simon comes in, everyone buys MVP. I know at our local store, the guy keeps buying MVP and people keep buying it. I do think though next year this will change. I don't think that MVP Axiom Streamline will be the people's choice next year. I have a feeling someone else will for sure.
Either way, it is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in Michigan, there's a lot of not a lot of friends, but a lot of people that I know are like diehard MVP, and I always hated it. It just didn't look cool with like having the overmold. But then once Simon throws something, I'm like, I need some of that.
I feel like everybody has at least one person that was always like, yo, MVP is so sick for like years, and now it's so validated. Like,
yeah. I'll talk about my buddy James. He got into disc golf maybe it was a few years ago. I wouldn't consider him a COVID golfer, but he was like around that time. But it wasn't because of COVID. He just worked like with me and a couple buddies. And we were like, you should start playing this. And he found the overmold stuff, and he was like, dude, this is amazing. And then I told him, I was like, well, you should try this and this and this. And he ended up coming back with like a whole bag of just overmolded stuff. And he's like, yeah, there's a few companies that do this. And I was like, no, it's all the same. And he's like, no, this one says Axiom. And I was like, it's the same. It's all the same. And then, I'm pretty sure to this day he only throws MVP and Axiom. He won't throw. He won't even touch Streamline. And I've told him, I was like, that is the same stuff. He's like, no, that's not me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Taylor. Streamline's actually underrated, I think, for sure. They got some good stuff. I've seen some guys put with some pilots, and I'm like, yo, that's pretty cool. You know, it's kind of like, I know the numbers are skewed, but it's kind of like, you know, the Roach or the what's the other like Judge, that kind of like floaty putter as well. Just so we can put a number to this, so we can let everyone know. There was a rating on a scale of 0 to 10, and they averaged a 7.29. The next one down was Innova at 6.77, and Discraft was literally like 0.01 below them at 6.76. So there's a pretty large jump from Innova to MVP. I was quite shocked when I saw this. But all right, let's move on to the next one. So next question, buy or sell? Lonestar plastic is trash. Buy or sell?
I'm selling.
Okay, so when I read this, when you sent this to us, it says Lonestar plastic is trash.
So Lonestar disc. We'll say Lonestar discs
and Lonestar plastic is two different things, because I think the plastic is really, really good.
Okay, so let's just say Lonestar in general. I was just putting like the word next to it.
Okay. Exactly. The plastic I'm buying.
Okay.
The company itself, the way they're kind of shaking things up, I don't know.
Lonestar disc or trash? We'll say that. That's the exact statement.
Can you hold?
No. See, I
you have to buy or sell.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
That's called tyranny.
That's called market manipulation.
That's dictatorship.
That is market manipulation.
Freaking.
I'm
gonna buy.
Lonestar trash.
Wait, what do you mean?
No, you're buying the statement that Lonestar disc are trash.
Oh, I'm selling.
Okay.
I'm selling.
I was going to say, I knew you were selling, and I wanted to make sure we got that on record.
Yeah, no. I I want to see what Lonestar does this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt?
I think I am also. Actually, I don't know. This is a tough one. I was thinking about this, and I honestly had. I don't know. I'll discuss later. For now, I think I'm gonna buy.
Okay. I'm gonna sell. So we're at a 50-50 split. So this should be a good one. I'm gonna sell. I'll get it started real quick right off the bat. I'm selling this just because they won already this year on tour, right? Emerson Keith won with them. He made some discs look really cool. And the fact that it won on tour, and like a lot of other companies, their plastic didn't win on tour this year. So I'm just going to start off by saying that. I'll let someone else talk.
Honestly, can't remember if I stuck to buying or selling at this point. So
you said selling. You said selling.
Okay. Yeah. No. The products are really good. Like the plastic is really, really good. The guys that run Hooligan Discs are friends of the channel and support me, so I have got a lot of I've got a lot of experience with the plastic.
Oh, so you're biased.
I am biased, but mainly I'll just say I have a lot of experience with the product. I will say personally, I'm not a Lonestar fan. I am a fan of their plastic, though. I think they have a little bit of work to do to figure out the molding process, and a ton of work to do in the court of public opinion. And if they keep pushing the Ranger team as they do, that will never happen, because everybody loves to hate the Ranger team, kind of for good reason. So it's kind of unfortunate that I really do think the product is really good. But the way the company's handled the public perception of the company is not great, and I don't think ever will be great.
Off topic, but I just got a message from Badanza saying, "Wow, no invite, so rude." So he wants to be on here,
bro. I literally said just tap in when you're feeling like it, man. Whenever you feel like you've got a little.
It's sad because I feel like he could have a lot of opinions because he's thrown everything.
Once you hear,
there you go.
Well, listen, we'll get Bonanza in for some course discussions.
Tell him to keep his thick butt out of here.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
3 C's. 3 C's, by the way.
3 C's on there.
Oh, he'll hear this.
Yeah, as far as Lonestar goes, I agree. The court of public opinion is the most important part here. I will say they did a great move by making a joke out of the dog thing. Okay. Does that solve their problems? Not at all. That does nothing for them, but it is a good move on that direction. But I went deep in the sauce when Lonestar was getting kind of flamed to see, like, is this valid or are people just crazy? And it was pretty in between. Like, I would feel more confident saying one way or the other if I came out of like that searching and the discussion that I had with people saying like Lonestar's good company, Lonestar's bad company. But I came out so in the middle that it makes me think that Lonestar is a not sure company. Like,
which I will say too, like I hate on the Ranger team, but like, is it really Lonestar's fault or like the general population of disc golf's fault that they're willing to just pay $300 for a new bag of discs to say they're sponsored? Yeah. Like,
here's the real question: did they succeed? Imagine next year they stop doing the Ranger team entirely. Okay, they just stop it entirely, or they restructure it. It's got a couple people in it. Let's say half the people on the Ranger team found 2 molds they really liked and fell in love with, and they just keep them in the bag.
I mean,
their name is Nico LaCastro.
Maybe so, but like they might have just banked that one, and the craziest move to immediately get a ton of Lonestar in most people's bags and hope a couple molds stay on.
I think the marketing ploy was genius in my opinion, because now they're spreading out through all over, and that one like guy that's local who like did the Ranger team is like, yo, try this, it's sick, and the guy's like, no, I don't want to throw this, and then throws it, and then like, wait a second, we might have something here. I think it was a genius marketing ploy. So
I mean, especially sorry, I was just going to put it real quick, especially right at the beginning when you start your company. I mean, you have the entire investment cost of like molding machines, plastics, materials, and you're like, wait, there's a way that we can guarantee like 200 people buy a ton of our products like in the beginning. It's incredible.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I haven't thrown a single disc of theirs. What is the Bravo plastic like? Does anyone touched it?
Is that... I don't know which ones they're...
That's Bravo. Like their...
The Bravo's
that's like
really
their,
gummy. The Bravo.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
they're both
I really
pretty
like
similar. Yeah, they're both kind of like
like the
Star
gummy.
that just never beats in ever.
So it's a tougher Star plastic. Is it
It's
like
gummy, but it's tough.
Is it tackier than the Star?
It's a guff.
It's guff.
It's guff.
So Corey, you got. It sounds like you got some semi love deep down inside for Lonestar. So
I just like good plastic.
Okay, cool.
And it really does feel good.
What is one disc that people should absolutely look at then from Lonestar?
Harpoon.
Which one? What does that do?
So it is basically a flippy zone.
Wait, what?
Okay, so
This doesn't make sense to me.
shut up. Let me explain. It is basically a zone. I think it's like a three. Stop it. Okay, for people that are just listening and not watching, I keep getting zoomed in on. It's not me. Taylor is in control of my camera. I don't know why. I can't do this myself. Anyway, it's either I think it's 4302 or 3302 or something like that, but it feels like a zone. It feels like a very flexible zone. But if you throw it too hard, it burns over. If you don't throw it too hard, it goes dead straight and then has like a zone fade.
Interesting.
But it actually will help teach you like touch if you want to get into like approach discs. And I had to use that because I didn't have a glow in the dark zone for that tournament that I played. So I used that because my buddy gave it to me and I was like, oh, it feels like a zone. I threw it out in the field beforehand. It burns if you try and rip into it. But if you like finesse it, it's really good. It's really good.
That's cool. Well, just to let you guys know, Lonestar came in with a 3.58 score out of 10, and they rated worst out of all the companies that they did a rating on. And just so, I'm just going to throw this out there as well. They had 28% of their vote be a 5 and 16% of the vote be a 0. So I feel like people don't know that plastic enough to really rate it, but it was the lowest out of all of the companies that they offered. So that's why we are asking the question, is Lonestar discs trash? So
I also want to say, so I wasn't in like the social media. I don't even know if it was social media back then, but Discraft Underground. When did that come out? When was that like a thing? It's a long time ago now,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a while ago, yeah.
I'm pretty sure back then they let everyone be on Underground.
Yeah, it's like the Prodigy Street Team too. I mean, it's not like a new concept. I think I don't understand why it gets memed about so much. I think it's mainly the people that are on the team than the team itself.
I think it has to do with social media. I think like people hate on Lonestar because that's like the thing that they see everywhere on Instagram, on
just
YouTube.
Because Nico is there.
Well, that and like. Yeah, seeing so many people, you could literally scroll through your Instagram feed and you see like 10 people that are like, I'm proudly a Ranger. And like, that's not normal compared to like seeing other street teams. So I think it's just the fact that it's brand new. It's on social media. You can't really get around it unless you like shut off your phone.
Yeah. All right. We're going to move on to the next one. We got 2 more to do, and then we got some other topics we're going to get into. So next one is Innova and Discraft are still kings of plastic in the sport. Buy or sell?
What does that mean?
Kings of plastic.
You agree if you buy it?
Buying says you agree. Sell means you disagree.
Buy.
So Innova and Discraft are still the kings of plastic in the sport.
Buy.
It's a buy.
Gotta be a buy for me.
Buy.
Yeah.
Hey.
I gotta say why. I gotta say this is the important part. If you had said, okay, to say they're kings of the plastic is absolutely correct for a lot of what they've cemented themselves to be. But to say they also can have some pretty dang, especially Innova, I'll specify Innova, some pretty dang inconsistent plastic, that is also true. So I think the potential is there for a company who has a far more consistent plastic to, especially Innova wise, make that transition. But Innova has already locked themselves in place in big chain stores and things like that you can't do anything about it. But like, bro, I have Star Plastic that feels like G-Star, and I was just talking in my latest video about Star Plastic that just feels like Champ, and it's like so weird. Every time it could be something different.
Yeah, I know like there are people here who are really devoted either like all Innova or all Discraft bag. We have a guy in our group who's all Discraft, who's constantly buying Discraft. But let me ask you this question. Do you guys have guys in your group or people locally who really love okay, cool. Thanks, Corey. who really love to buy like used beat up disc? Or do they prefer to buy brand new stuff? Because if you're going to buy beat up used stuff that's been around, you're going to be buying Innova and Discraft, because they've been around the longest. So they're still the kings, because if you want to get something that like does like a really cool flight that's been beat in, by the way, if you're watching this, if you've never beat in a disc before, go buy a really beat in disc, go look at the numbers and go get a new disc of that and see how they fly differently. It's incredible. That's why you should definitely beat in discs. And I don't know where I was going with that. I just got really like emotional right there. Throw beat in disc because it's disc, people. Beat your disc. Beat it up.
Tyler's right here, and Tyler's actually. We were talking about this, and Tyler's solving my distance driver problem right now with wraiths that I'm beating up. I just got a champ one in that I'm going to beat up to be still decently overstable for my arm speed. I'm going to do all that, but Tyler's right. If you want beat up discs, you have to buy Innova. You have to buy Discraft. I would say honestly, you have to buy Innova a lot of the time. Is the one that's primarily like pushed.
I can't find a single dynamic disc that's beat up yet.
Yeah, well, I know a guy who only buys and uses dynamic discs, or I guess I should say trilogy, and he was like, I was deciding whether to bag EMAC Truths or not, which I currently have one in the bag, but I was like, I need something a little more overstable, and I talked to him. He's like, yeah, bro, if you just get yourself this run of this specific Glimmer EMAC Truth from this specific guy, the way they pressed the stamp made it a little domier. And the second he started talking, I was like, I just want a disc more stable than an EMAC Truth that is speed up slightly. Do not tell me about. I was like, bro, I'm not spending $80 on this disc to lose it in the woods next week. So that was what he had to do to get something that was what he wanted. I mean, obviously there's beat up ones, but that
actually reminds me of those like Simon polls that he's been putting out. It was like something about should the pros be able to throw like special runs, or should they have to play with discs that you could just get off the shelf? Yeah, stock.
Yeah.
I don't care what they play with, but it's annoying that you hear like in the bags of like Ganon and stuff like that where they're like, I only throw this specific one because it does this, and it's like, that's a different disc then. Just
it's honestly like bad marketing, I feel like, because that instantly makes me like, well, I'm not going to buy one of those. Like if there's only one run that's good, like
I only want the Bowling Green ones because they did this. It's like, so you're describing the flight of a different disc that you could just grab off the shelf. Just grab that one.
Eagle throws like a 14th run of some
like
disc.
Yeah, it's like first or 14th run PDs. Yeah.
He's like, this is my 27th run PD. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I think Discraft's getting there. Like Innova's footprint at this point is just so big because they've been around so long and the one that's most widely available. Discraft is like way better. I mean, they were lame for a long time. So you might remember like the super loud dubstep commercials and Jomez videos back in the day for Discraft before like they rebranded and brought Paul in and everything. But that's why they're, I think, starting to get the tenure. And I honestly don't know, because that's been my answer for a long time. Like, oh, Innova's in the big box stores. Like you go to Walmart, you see Innova, but like you go to like Dick's or Academy and you see some Trilogy now. Dynamic disc is in there. So I'm questioning myself if like that's as big of an impact as I really like previously thought it did. I think Walmart's the big one. Like if you're just a brand new person who wants to go try disc golf, you're getting a DX Archangel from Walmart and you're going out and having a great time.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say is this is like my I feel like trump card for this statement is you just heard us a minute ago talk about Lonestar disc, and what plastic did I say do we try to describe it to? It was Star Plastic. So like when you talk to people, you're like, oh, so is this like Star Plastic, Champion Plastic, ESP, Z, Big Z? You know, you're using those two companies to base your plastic like baseline comparison off of, which is why they're going to be kings forever.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What would you compare this? Okay, this is going to sound really stupid and really smart at the same time. So
Love it. This is so you.
Okay. What Discraft plastic would you compare Star to?
ESP.
No.
No. I agree with.
I understand what you mean because it's the non-transparent plastic, but it's not.
I know it's Z, isn't it?
No, Z's like
no. I'm saying like it's like it would be like ESP Flex or something. It's not straight ESP. Straight ESP does not feel a single thing like Star. Like that's what I mean. It's like you have to pick like a weird run of Discraft plastic to actually compare it to Star.
No, I agree. That's why I choose Innova over Discraft because I like Star better than ESP.
I think you need to get some ESP Flex.
No, I have thrown it. I know.
I think that would be it.
But that makes it less stable for me compared to a Star Plastic, same flight, and I don't
get a different disc. Why does no one listen to me?
I'm Innova over Discraft. That's why though.
All right, whatever.
Listen, I was so certified in my bag. Like I would just talk to you guys recently about my throwing putters and how confident I was with them. And then I went and threw the Luna for this challenge, and I was like, oh dang. This is low key kind of gas.
Oh, you like the Luna?
Yeah, I'll be putting out a video about it soon, comparing them. But other than the ESP part, because the ESP part I tried putting with and it was just awful. It slipped off my fingers. That's all they had in the store. But I have some Big Z coming tomorrow, and it might change it up there. But you are right, Corey. I couldn't think of any. I don't know Discraft crazy well, but I've seen enough of the plastic. I don't know what you would even get close to like. In the definition of a disc you can't see through, then ESP is your Star. But in definition for how they feel, I don't know what you even call.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say Crystal Flex, like a Get Freaky. That plastic, that like feel of even though that is transparent, it is kind of like a Z, but it like feels really, really good.
Yeah,
true. I have a Crystal Flex buzz, dude. You are kind of right. Now that I'm thinking about that.
I will say, like their blends of plastic together, I think are the coolest in my opinion. They do good. But
Corey's statement of them just throwing darts at the wall for the plastic names. Every time I see a new Discraft disc now, I just think back to that. It's perfect. Like we got the Big Z Jawbreaker,
Swirly, Sparkle,
Metallic, Metal Flake, whatever.
Also, we're probably going to get into DGA
right now.
Well, then this segue.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Whoa.
DGA is made by Discraft.
Yeah.
Discraft does not make that like flaky looking Z plastic, like the confetti looking stuff. And that's one of DGA's like.
I swear that's the only plastic you can find DGA in most of the time.
But it looks so cool, and I've never seen a Discraft disc like that, except for those weird money ones that they just did.
That is an interesting point.
That is. All right, last buy sell. Here we go. Right off. We're gonna shoot out. DGA is the most basic, unforgotten company. Buying or selling?
Sell.
Sell.
Buying.
100% buying. Let's hear it, Corey. Why are you selling it? By the way, if you don't know, Corey lives right down the street from all these guys.
Yeah, so Discraft is about a half hour from me, but it is a quarter mile from my work's office. So I can literally go down the street and you'll see a mailbox that's made out of a basket. And you're like, what is that? And it's Discraft. So
that's sick.
The reason I'm selling is because I think there are other brands that are even more forgettable. And I definitely think with one extra person being put on that team, DGA plastic would be like another staple that everyone would want. And I'm actually in the process of testing out some DGA to see if it works cohesively with my bag. So, yeah.
Dude, Anthony made one, or Bedanza made one video with Cole last week and gave more descriptions of DGA discs than it made me want to try DGA discs, just because he gave more descriptions of Cole. He made Cole give descriptions of each of the discs. Get one guy who's really good at that. Cole's really good at winning. That's a W too. You want to have one of those, but just get one guy who can get your pros to describe it well. And I was like, dang, I do want to try that disc now.
With the right amount of money, I'll do it.
The crazy thing to me too is like DGA has been around almost as long as Innova. It's like one of the oldest disc golf companies out there, and
They
their
literally
molds
have
are sick.
discgolf.com.
Their molds are honestly sick.
That's
it's
pretty
just
wild.
It's so middle of the road. Like it's kind of an any publicity is good publicity thing. Like Lonestar gets all the bad publicity. They just don't like DGA exists and nobody talks about it. Like I feel like DGA is a company that I could list off mold names and most people that playing disc golf would have no like. What does a pipeline do? What does a squall do? People be like,
I know what a squall does because it's a zombie.
but
Is it certified
just
or
like
no?
I don't know. They're just. It is sad because they're so good, but they're just like they just exist and nobody talks about them.
Yeah, no, but I think they're on the up and up. I think they're on the up and up.
The only disc I've ever held of DGA is the Sail, and that's only because Noah Mindsma, I think that's how you say his last name, was here, and I scored him, and he was talking to me about DGA because he throws for DGA, and he was talking about how I think he was promoting the Sail to me, and he was like, "It's a sick roller disc," so I bought it and I have it, and it's like the most wild roller disc ever. It's so flippy. But anyways, yeah. I mean, I don't know anyone around here. I don't know a single person. I want to make sure I got this correct. Yeah, I don't know a single person that there is a DGA plastic disc around in my area of the country. So I think it's absolutely overforgotten. But I tell you what, man, Cole makes those discs look really good. And I think Andrew Marr, we give him a full season. I think he's going to be right there with it next year as well. So I don't think anyone thinks about DGA around here.
Alpina boy.
No, neither does anyone over here. But no one thinks over here. No one thinks about anyone other than MVP and Innova.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the zombie out of my bag. I'm going to get the squall in that cool glitter Z. I'm going to wipe the stamp and just write zombie with Sharpie.
That would be amazing. And also trademark, and you're going to prison, but that's okay. I'm just messing.
No,
hey, Taylor, can you zoom into my face really quick? I'm not going to prison.
Hey, you're fine. Zombie has 2 E's, right?
Yeah, because it's B.
Just do one.
It's a buzz.
Easy W.
Yeah.
Just do one, and you dodge all the charges.
Just to throw some things out there, the DGA got over 45% of their vote was a solid 5. That's a lot of 5. So that's why I asked a question, because it's like anyone who doesn't know anything about DJ, you're like, okay, yeah, I think they're good because they got Cole maybe, and maybe that's what sparked them. I'll mark a 5 down. I do want to jump back to the last question we asked about Innova Discraft. MVP, Innova Discraft, who in your opinion is 4th in the plastic? Real quick.
Wait, do you mean public rating or what?
So you think about for the public, right? We've already talked about MVPs the most, and let me say Innova and Discraft are right there. So then is anyone close to Innova and Discraft?
So are you talking popularity, quality?
Yes, popularity.
Okay, so popularity.
I think Trilogy was, but I don't know if Kristen's though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is it defined as Trilogy or is it defined as
like the
dynamic discs?
Dynamic disc, I think.
I think Latitude.
No. Latitude is separate than dynamic disc, so they don't have it as Trilogy.
Yeah.
I'll say. Okay.
I don't have one yet, so you just keep talking.
I think Discmania would be right there. And it's only because and the only thing it's because Simon was there and he left, but also Eagle's still there. And so, those discs are still coveted. So just to let you guys know the rest of the list. So Innova and Discraft average a 6.7, we'll say 6.75. Then Latitude 64 was just below them with a 6.55, we'll say. Discmania was a 6.5, and then it drops off a little bit, and DGA is a 6. Dynamic Disc, this is a big one, is like a 5.25. That's very average. And then Prodigy's at like a 4, and Lone Star is at like a 3.5. So
Kristen Tatar does so much work. Pay her all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, between Kristen Tatar and Jonathan, and they're just set there.
They just keep printing her name on that Grace, and like it's over and over. Remember, I remember when we couldn't even find a Grace anymore. Now there are like so many Graces to go out and buy. So
yeah, right. I'm going off of there's a disc golf. Oh, I guess you can consider it a disc golf shop. It's a party store, but it's like right across the street. It's actually where all of the signings and stuff are for D-Glow. It's like it has so many discs, and when you walk in, you look at the shelf. There's a giant thing of Discraft, giant thing of Innova, giant thing of MVP. The only other person that has or company that has a giant area is Discmania. They have every brand, but a lot of them are just like slivers on the shelf.
Yeah. All right. I think this is a good time to go into Not Trevor's Trivia. We skipped that last time, so now we got we got 2 questions that we're going to go over for Not Trevor's Trivia. Corey has been nailing the question, so we'll see.
No, I nailed 1 question.
2 of them.
No, you got 2. You got 2.
I nailed 2 questions.
You nailed 2. This is the most nervous time of my week right now.
Marweed on the putts and Goose on like the other one, a hot round, I think is what it was. Yeah.
You're so this week, spoon feeding them to me.
I did. I know. So this week, we're gonna stick on the most average person, right? So if I say every week, man, you got it. Congratulations.
Next question.
Next question.
Keep them going.
So if I ask you who was the least favorite and most favorite, I feel like we could get FPO and MPO pretty close on that. So I'm going to ask you who is the most average person according to who got the most 5s of players. So they did the same thing earlier with players. So they said, okay, 0 to 10, where would you rank this person or these players in popularity for yourself? And so these 2 players, MPO and FPO, in their respective divisions, got the most 5 votes. So, and they have to be an American player because there was a lot of high 5s for people overseas. So I was just going to leave that alone. So who got the most 5s for MPO division that's an American player? You guys get 3 guesses or 3 strikes as a group, and then you lose.
Oh,
are we allowed to discuss before we?
Yeah. Discuss. Okay. Yeah.
So this is for MPO.
MPO. Yeah. Who's the most average player?
Does Adam Hammis count? Now, I'm not guessing it, but he's on your list. I know.
Adam Hammis is. Let me see if he's on the list.
Yeah. How many people are on the list?
There's not too many. If you ask me, I can give you yes or no if they're on the list. So
okay, just because you specified American, I want to make sure.
Adam Hammis is
I don't know why
on the list. He's on the list.
I don't know why I think he's. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tripping. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Ain't no thing.
Trying to pull up
Evan Smith on the list?
Say that, Corey. Say it again, Corey.
Is Evan Smith on the list?
No, it's only 37 MPO players. I would say maybe it's like 37 of the most popular MPO players. I would say.
I'm trying to think of guys that just either are very polarizing. Oh, so it's just 5s though, right? Just 5s.
Just 5s.
No, just bland.
They just exist.
I actually think I know the answer to this one, but I think I know it from Grip Locked. I don't know if I know it from Grip Locked or not.
That's fine. You can cheat. I don't care.
Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut until the end here because I don't remember if it's the exact right answer. So it's our last guess. Is you just hope that my memory is correct. But
I feel like Kyle Klein just exists. I don't have strong feelings for Kyle Klein, one way or the other.
I'm a little upset with him because he puts Wyoming, Michigan, which is literally just Grand Rapids, and Grand Rapids is a known place.
I had no idea that Wyoming, Michigan was near Grand Rapids, but I know where Grand Rapids is.
Exactly, because I've heard his name be announced so many times where it's like, Kyle Klein from Wyoming, Michigan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not from Wyoming. Oh. And then I had to search where Wyoming is. It's literally just You zoom out and it's Grand Rapids and then like a little dot. It's annoying. Are you going Kyle Klein?
That's my first thought. I don't know if I'm locking it in, but
I'm asking you guys. What do you guys want to? You want to lock it in or no?
I say we lock that in. I agree. I'm impartial to him. So.
All right. Kyle Klein is not the most average player. He got 19% of his votes were a 5.
I would consider the fact that he won this year.
That's true.
Like he was in people's
His highest score was a 7.
Also,
wait, his highest score, no one rated him a 10?
No, I mean somebody did. I'm sorry. I meant like the most. What got the most votes out of all the numbers that could have been chosen for him? 7 was the highest out of 22% of his votes were a 7.
So he got the most 7s.
Yeah. I actually think Taylor
for him.
Yeah. I think Taylor's right on this one. I think it's a 5 and everyone just added 2 points because he took a W.
Right.
I agree with that one.
USC just at the end.
Just ruined it. And recency bias as well, we could say.
We still have FPO, so 2 more guesses. Let's get rolling here.
Okay.
I think I know FPO.
Okay, he knows FPO. What do we think for MPO then?
It's pretty close, but there is one person that is like
Just there.
I'm trying to picture people like playing.
I have another thought, but I had this is based in nothing of just a guy that exists as Bradley Williams.
Just go for it.
What is it?
Yeah,
Bradley Williams. Just like I mean, before he was kind of controversial, but like he, had the whole thing.
He's
with,
not.
Is that your guess?
Novas.
Yeah, go for it. I would say go for it.
Names out here.
Let me double check here.
These are a lot. I feel like all these people are very close to impartial.
If you're double checking, then it's not right.
No. I want to make sure I don't say you got it right, and then actually it's like, oh wait, no, there I missed one guy. No, you are not correct. But I will say he was second.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
honing in.
Okay, we can take the wild guess.
Do you want?
I think they said this on Grip Locked. Do not say me one or the other. But I think they said it's. We have to make sure Tyler doesn't show surprise here. I think
Do you want a hint?
Let me roll this here.
I'll take it.
I think they said it was Greg Barsby, and because no one knew what to think about him, which I thought was weird personally. I would never put him. Yeah, I would never put him in 5s, but I thought that's what they said. I could be crazy. Give us our hint, Tyler.
You want your hint?
Yeah.
What is? He. I'm gonna give you a hint that I can't exactly. I think he won a Pro Tour event last year. I think he
2023 or 2022.
2023.
He won an event.
Okay, I have another guess.
I'm gonna look him. I'm gonna look him up right now just to make sure.
They got a big win, but he just exists. Corey Ellis.
You think?
That's not bad either.
I feel like he's just a guy, like he's not like.
Yeah.
What about Parker?
Oh, Parker.
No.
I feel like nobody knows who Parker is. Like
Exactly. You can't love or hate a guy that you don't know.
So he definitely won a Pro Tour event last year. This person.
I kind of love Parker Welk, actually.
Everyone loves Parker Welk. That's what I'm saying. You either
not
don't
on the
know
list,
who Parker Welk is, or
he's not on the list.
Not on the list.
God,
we talk about how Parker Welk said to get hyped for GBO. He listened to a Dr. Disrespect clips on YouTube. That's pretty sick.
Dude, I watched Dr. Disrespect today throw 70 yards. So hyped. But, all right, I'm fine with Corey Ellis. I have no problem with that. Are we all in agreement? This is our last guess. We're gonna fail this one, for real.
Corey's got to prove it. He is the.
I'll buy.
He'll buy like my Calc 3 grade.
I think we lost, but I'll buy.
So Corey Ellis, final answer?
Yeah.
Log it in.
No, it is not Corey Ellis.
Who was it?
Oh.
Corey Ellis, just to let you know, the most numbers he got were 5s for himself at 24%.
Can I guess one more time?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Is it Chandler Fry?
No.
Oh,
he didn't win a Pro Tour last year, I don't think.
No.
You didn't either?
All right, I'll give you the event and see if you guys can get it. He won the Mid-America Open.
that doesn't help me. I'm lost in the sauce here.
I'll give you another little statistic about him. He was overwhelmingly got 5s. 48% of his votes were 5s. That's how average this guy is.
That is the rudest thing I've ever heard you say.
I know. And he has a tour series for Discraft as well.
Adam Hamas. I thought he won something though. He won a silver, right? Last year?
No.
He has a tour series for Discraft.
Oh, wait. No, never mind.
Yeah, why am I blanking on
I'm going through the ratings like I see these. Oh, I was right. It's Presnell.
It is Andrew Presnell.
I'm so surprised because he's kind of wild on Twitter, isn't he?
He is
not like wild, but like opinionated.
Yeah,
I feel like he's very opinionated.
He is, but he is like so unforgettable. Like when I first got into disc golf, I saw his name on a force, and I was like, "Who is this guy? I've never heard him before in my life." I mean, he is really unforgettable. Sorry, Presnell, if you're watching this,
but big Pres fan, but.
Yeah. But I mean, I love his force play. I'm not gonna lie. So
just to put this out there, I love Chandler Fry. I just don't think anybody like
the channel.
Anybody else that took the survey likes Chandler Fry.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to FPO. All right. So what is your FPO guess?
You want it straight, guys?
Yeah, go for it.
Sarah Holcomb.
Dude, you're so close. I think she's second. I think she's second.
Gosh.
No, she's not second. She's third. On most average. That's a really good guess, though. When I looked it up, I thought it was her. I thought she was the most average, but no.
I feel like
there's someone else. And I'll give you a little hint to try to see if you guys can get this one right. She also won an event last year.
Sarah Holcomb?
No.
the person, yeah.
The person who's who got the most 5s out of everybody.
I guarantee you it is not Kristen Tatar.
And she's an American player, right? That's what I said. It has to be an American player.
She won an event.
Yep. Hold on. No, she didn't. I'm sorry. I threw you guys off. I am so sorry.
She's trying to
sorry.
Let me guess. She's also not American.
It is Kristen Tatar.
Yeah, right.
Gosh, dang it.
No. Yeah, which is I can't say anymore. I'll ruin it.
Oh my goodness.
I'll say this. It surprised me a little bit when I found this. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't want to throw you guys off.
What?
So, did you think that she won an event?
We're desperate for scraps.
Yes, I thought she did. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, she didn't.
Okay, this isn't my guess, but I want to just discuss with
Of course.
Okay. Ella?
I was going to say
Ella. Okay.
She's Canadian. She's Canadian.
Oh, she is?
My goodness.
Oh, yeah, she's got that stupid her and eagle, like, maple leaf disc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, we
I
were
saved you for that one.
Dang it.
we were all down for that one.
That's basically just North United States.
She won her last event that she played in 2023. She won this past weekend. She won an event this past weekend.
Good for her.
People are still playing disc golf?
Wait.
In Canada?
Wait. Wait. Okay, so the person we're looking for won an event last weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Like an A tier.
I saw that Paige Shue won an event, but I don't know what people think about Paige Shue. She's been off the scene for a while, so.
It's true. Maybe that helps though. Like maybe some people just don't know who it is.
Corey said that and then laughed, made me so unconfident in whether or not he actually thought it was Paige Shue or not.
No, I'm saying it's probably her.
Are we locking in Paige Shue then?
I'm down. Is she on the survey?
Shue me the money.
The fact that I have to look is not good for you guys. No, she's not. No.
So I have a guess purely based on the only event that I know was recent was the Chainhawk Open in Gainesville. Mm-hmm. So Jessica Weiss is my guess because she was there with Double G.
I did have Jessica Weiss in my head.
That's my only basis for this.
I'm fine with that. Corey, this is our last one. We could fail this one too.
Oh, I forgot this is the last one. I don't know if I trust my my logic here.
You have any other?
Oh, then don't trust my logic because I don't know.
Well, we just thought maybe you'd throw a random number out, bro. You're literally 2-0 right now.
That is true.
So we were kind of hoping.
Gossage.
That's a great guess.
Put him in for that.
Breaking news.
Bland FPO player.
Breaking news. Switching to FPO.
Should we go Jessica Weiss?
That's what I got.
Or.
Oh no.
I might be cheating.
Oh, he's cheating. Don't listen to the man.
Off of grip lock.
Oh, you're also cheating off grip lock. Well, I was wrong on my cheating.
I'm thinking. Is it Natalie Ryan?
No, what do you mean? She's on the. She's at the bottom of the list.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Or does no one care anymore?
I know this for a fact.
I feel like that is
She's
either
at
going to be the most
list.
10s or the most 1s, but like 0
She's at the bottom of the list. She's moved up a little bit, but I'm pretty confident she's at the very bottom of that list.
Who are you talking about?
We'll go Jessica Weiss.
Natalie Ryan is what.
Oh yeah, you don't. No, I'm not going to let you choose.
Yeah,
no.
bro. Come on.
I swear, I heard on grip lock.
They said that like the approval of Natalie Ryan went up, I think, by a little.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That's what they said.
I thought they said like just no one. It was just kind of like. Meh.
All right, Jessica Weiss, final answer.
Yeah, go for it.
Taylor, is that your final answer?
Lock it in.
You got him.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You got it.
This is such a W.
She came in with 50% of her votes were 5s.
Shout out to Terry, the disc golf guy Miller, for posting about the Chain Hawk Open and reminding me that event exists.
Yep. Who is going to be marrying Double G, right? So.
Oh, Terry Miller is. He's got the exact same thought there.
Man,
real power couple, man. Real power.
Matt just grew like a year older from that. He's now 15.
We need to move on before we get busted for doing stuff with minors. So,
Terry Miller.
Matt.
I'm well above. I'm 4 years above age, guys. We're good.
All right, so good job. We got 1 out of 2. I thought it was pretty good. You almost got the last one. I feel no, we weren't close. Never mind. All right, yeah, we weren't. Never mind. All right, so here's the next question. This is open-ended, obviously. What is the most overrated and underrated plastic in disc golf? Let's start with overrated. What plastic is the most overrated plastic in all of disc golf?
Wait. Are we saying like Discraft plastic? Or are we saying ESP?
What is specific plastic, or you can say in general plastic? Okay. I'm thinking like very specific plastic.
Yeah, I was also on specific plastic, but so that's good. We're on the same page.
Now that House of Discs has acquired Castoplast and made it Trilogy Plastic, Castoplast plastic, because it used to be goated, but
unfortunate. Wait, that's your underrated plastic?
Overrated.
It's
not as good anymore.
Why do you say it? Just because they're with them now?
I don't know, and I have no actual knowledge of this personally, but I have heard a lot of reports of people saying like new Castoplast just feels like Goldline or Opto or.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, a lot of
that's plastic. Terrible. I feel like that's what separated Castoplast.
Yeah, old Castoplast plastic was sick.
I'm gonna hang on to my Castoplast stuff then.
Jeez.
Underrated? I'm going Glow. Or no, overrated. I'm going Glow.
Glow what?
Just Glow in general?
Glow plastic.
Glow period?
Yes, because the majority of the time it sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, the Glow
is not good plastic. I mean, Glow plastic feels good, but like you don't buy it because it feels good. You buy it because you want it to glow in the dark. And there's like 1 or 2 companies that can glow in the dark.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
What are the 2 best glowing plastics though?
MVP and Axiom.
No, I said, that kind of goes together.
Okay, but MVP and Streamline.
Okay.
MVP and Thought Space Athletics.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever felt or used like the Moonshine plastic from Latitude 64?
I have not. Is that gas or no?
Dude, it is. It's a good glow plastic. It's very bright.
Okay.
It's hard to miss.
In 2015, I bought a Moonshine Trespass from a store because it was in an X-Out bin for $10. Threw it 3 times. It was so goated. Lost it in a creek. Third throw.
Yeah.
I really like that name too, Moonshine. That's such a good play of words.
Wait, did you say a trespass?
Yeah.
I have that one. I bet that's the one you're talking about too. It is goated.
From the creek. You were there.
Yeah, I picked it up. I was looking for that sucker. I will say, like, the most overrated, in my opinion, is funny that Corey was kind of talking about it a little. Well, brought it up a little bit. I kind of brought it up. I think ESP is like the worst plastic. I don't think. Like, I don't know why people like it. I have a buddy who loves all ESP. I should have brought him on tonight just for this section, but it's not tacky. It doesn't script to my hand. It's awful. I think it's a worse, like, that style of plastic. Go ahead, Corey.
Okay, 2 questions. Have you tried OG ESP plastic?
Probably not.
Amazing. More like Star. Like Star. I don't know what they did recently to like make it to where like it's always swirly and stuff. The old stuff was like solid color kind of stuff. Really good. Also, have you tried Big Z?
Yes, I like Big Z.
You think ESP is slipperier than Big Z?
No, I didn't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I like Big Z for what it is.
Okay.
I had a Big Z Force that I would forehand, and I loved that for what I wanted it to do because of the plastic. But when I pick up ESP, I'm automatically thinking like it needs to be tacky, so it comes out of the hand nice, and it doesn't. It's very slick, and I don't like it at all. Like, I feel like ESP needs to have a mix of like the Flex. Like the ESP Flex is so much better than ESP. I like ESP is not good in my opinion. It's just really, at least from my hand.
I think I just figured out my most underrated because of what you just said. So
okay.
Carry on.
Beat up ESP. Does anyone have that they felt? I have like slightly beat up. I think it feels a little better, but
I have the OG stuff. But I don't have anything new because I don't know when they switched it, but I'll do a video on that. Yeah. On like the old ESP compared to new ESP.
Yeah, I don't understand the hype. I really don't. I think ESP is like, I think Discraft is selling a faulty product to people with ESP.
Okay. I can see it.
While we're on the show, I'm gonna text my buddy who throws all ESP and be like, why is ESP so good? I want to see what he says.
All right, Corey, while he's texting, what's your over and underrated plastics then?
Well, I did overrated, which is glow. Mm-hmm. But underrated, titanium flex from Discraft.
Okay.
Just basically picture G-Star that never beats in too much. It feels so good. It's grippy. It's flexed, so it gives, but it never actually like beats into the point where it like doesn't keep the flight. It is so good. I have a Force like that.
What is underrated? What did you say?
It is titanium flex from Discraft.
Ooh.
It's one of those runs that they only do for special things. So like I have a bar stamp Force from 2015 Ledgestone.
Hey, yo.
And it feels and throws just like G-Star, but it never breaks like how G-Star does. Like a lot of people I talk to, they'll throw G-Star and then they'll be like, it's too beat in too quickly.
Yeah.
This never does that. So it's got the give, it's got the feel, and then it's just good for forever. So
yeah. I think
it's one of those things where I keep trying to slide into Discraft's DMs and be like, make this plastic again. And they never do.
I wonder why.
You got to walk in.
Because they hate me, okay? I'm too annoying for them.
I don't know about that. Matt, did you say your overrated disc or plastic?
I have not said my overrated plastic, actually.
Let's go, son. Get it out.
My bad. I was between a couple of them.
You better hurry up, or I'm
gonna lock in. I'm gonna lock in this.
Drink.
I'm gonna lock in on this. And I'm gonna hate on this one. Champ plastic.
Oh.
The new Champ stuff I have got is one of those plastics you literally have to beat up to feel good. And to be clear, I have Champ stuff that's beat up and I love, but fresh Champ, and there's also, to note, it is routinely cold and rainy where I live for the majority of the time. So that might play into it. But my underrated is going to go in with that. So Champ plastic is my overrated. There.
Taylor, what was yours again? I can't remember.
My overrated, it was kind of more of a joke, but the new, I said Castaplast because it's not the same.
Oh, yeah.
Allegedly.
So I got a message back. I think my buddy is on crack. So he says, I said, why is ESP so good? Why do you like it? Serious question. He says, grip, durability, consistency, not too firm, not too flimsy, swirls.
I will take the swirls. Yes, they're very good.
Yeah,
especially if you get pink and blue cotton candy. Oh, it's so good.
Dude, he just got this new Purple John today that is super hot because of these swirls. I'm not going to lie. He just said, all right, so I messaged him back and I said, it feels like there's no grip. ESP Flex is more similar to Star. And he says, I love it, always have. So I don't know. Whatever.
Plastic out there for everybody.
I guess. I don't get it. I hate it. So, all right. Underrated. Corey said Titanium Flex.
Yep.
All right. What else do we got?
I am a man that is very particular about putter plastics, like the baseline putter plastics. Pie Pan Discs Butterline is so good. It's the best putter plastic of all time. IMO.
I'd say it's probably a close second after the 2022 putter of the year, the Birdie Marvel.
In what plastic though?
Yes.
All of them. No, but it's definitely like, I hate softer putters that like are not durable and like super flimsy, but I feel like if you get plastics that are too hard, they're very slick and don't have the same kind of tack. So Butterline has a very good quality of like, it's soft enough to where you can kind of get a good dig in with your thumb and kind of get a good feel with it, but it's very tacky and it is also very durable.
Yeah.
I don't even put with baggers, but
why did it sound like you broke your disc? You're like, dig in with your thumb, and really I just picture it going through.
I think I'm gonna have like an underrated disc, but I'm also gonna throw another one kind of out there a little bit because it's not like, maybe it's not 100% official, and I'll explain in a minute. I think the most underrated plastic is 400G from Prodigy. It is so good plastic. Like, it has like this, it's a little more stiff than the G-Star, and yet when you beat it in, it gets more and more and more tacky. That just allows you to spin the disc more and more and more. So as an amateur player, that I throw like close to 350, like I want some more tackiness and more spin so I could get the full flight from these discs. My buddy throws a D2 that he absolutely loves. I have a D3 that was a heavy D3, so it does it's not too understable. And I don't have a lot of that plastic, or I don't throw a lot of Prodigy, but every time I pick up a 400G plastic disc, I just love it, and it feels so good in the hand.
Okay.
So that's why. Oh yeah, my other one. I love the plastic of the Mindbender, which is that C-line plastic metal flake, but it's really like, it's more squishy. And I wonder if the new Flex 1 C-line plastic that just came out is that plastic or not. Yeah. I haven't felt the MD5 in that plastic yet, so I don't know if that's that Simon plastic or not. But that Simon plastic of the Mindbender is so like perfect. Go ahead.
That's that new putter that just came out with the P3X. Is it P3X?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that plastic you're talking about?
No, that's P3X is a Color Glow P3X.
And that's just a C-line.
Yeah, in the same box, MD5 is the C-line Flex MD5 that is unique. Yeah.
And so we'll have to find out if that's like that Flex that's similar to the Mindbender But I mean, it feels so good. Like just a little bit more cushion in that C-line plastic. It's just money.
Okay.
So.
All right, my most underrated goes directly opposite to my most overrated, or actually directly the same, I should say. Okay, and there's a reason for this.
Plastic.
My most overrated was Champion Plastic. My most underrated is, I guess I can say, MVP Axiom Proton Plastic. It is a better Champion Plastic, in my opinion. It's see-through. It's really cool. I don't have my Envy here, but I have a sick Envy that is like they push colors through it on the flight plate. It's still see-through, but it is so much grippier for the same like stiffer plastic. It just does the job better. So that's
you really simp over that MVP stuff.
Well, the only shop we had in my area was a local guy who did a shop out of his garage, and all he had was MVP stuff for a while. So I started off, and then I changed all my bag to no MVP, and then it's just worked its way back in. I don't know how. But yes, I do. I have a lot of – I just mainly MVs and hexes, but –
I want them to make more plasma runs. Have you tried a plasma?
No. What about it?
It would be MVPs like Crystal.
Isn't it kind of like Shimmer Star-ish?
That's kind of what that's so weird.
Yeah, the Proton. I wish I had my Proton MV here. The Proton is just like a see-through, but it is. I know your plasma.
Yeah, like the Pyro. I used to throw the Pyro, and it comes in like Prism Plasma.
Yeah. I don't know if that Prism stuff comes in much more than that Pyro. Every time I see the Pyro, it only comes in that plastic.
Yeah, so like I want to see more discs in that.
Yeah, and I think it's specifically the rim is a different plastic and the inside, which is why they specify
the rim is like Metal Flake Proton, I think, for those, and then the insides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's I do simp over MVP, but that they've got the Hex and the MV go crazy, so I have no option.
Yeah, we had a really wide variety of love-hate, which is really fascinating. So if you are watching us right now and nobody has commented on our videos yet, be the first to comment. Which one is the most overrated, underrated? I'd love to hear what people have to think, because we all had something, I feel like, very different. So, all right, moving on. This is something similar, more overrated, underrated a little bit as well, but this is more focused on a manufacturer to player basis. So what manufacturer is underperforming and overperforming based off of their sponsor representation on the Pro Tour? So when you look at the Pro Tour and you look at the players, you throw that plastic, what companies are you saying, man, they're really like overperforming, like they're doing a lot better than what I thought this company would be doing, or winning wise or playing well? And what's a company where you're saying that company is not performing as well as I thought on tour with the players that are sponsoring their plastic? Let's start with who's overperforming, or no, let's say underperforming. Who is underperforming on tour right now?
DD.
Interesting.
You can't have Ricky and no one cares.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why do you say you can't have Ricky and no one cares?
Because Ricky is one of the best players in the world. And when's the last time you were like, you know what? I need to pick up this dynamic disc.
I feel like all they have is Ricky too. I mean, like the depth of the team is just like, it's Ricky.
I really do think
does Ricky have a big pull or not, though? I personally think Ricky isn't that likable of a guy. Like, I think he's cringe sometimes with some of the stuff he does. I just think he's a little bit of a different guy, but I don't know.
Sometimes it does look like he's on drugs. There's been times where he comes into a video and he's like, hey guys, we should do this, and like,
I did that at episode 1 on the show. That's what I mean. He comes in way too hot.
I think the thing that hurts Ricky and DD is like, you think about the other top name pros like making their own discs, and it's like Simon's got the time lapse and the pixel. Like Ricky's got like, hey, remember when we discontinued the Slammer? What if we bring it back in different colors? Put Ricky's name on it. It's like the discs that have been around forever. It's like the I almost said pig, Slammer, the Felon. It's just like he doesn't have anything like new or exciting. It's just like kind of the same old, same old.
I'm just going to put this out there real quick and then we can keep talking. He surveyed 45th ranked out of 57 players on the fandom scale. So he's not a very likable player according to this survey.
I think, okay, for the right amount of money, I'll do it. But I think someone needs to film videos for him that is more like B-roll and not B-roll, like behind the scenes, because I know he's like a funny and likable guy. He's got a lot of friends on tour. I think when they put a camera in front of him, they're like, you need to be the popular Ricky. And then that's where we get like drugs. But I think if someone was just like filming and just talking to him as a normal thing, you'd see a different side of Ricky that people don't realize is there. They think it's just like all go or
goof.
Nothing. Yeah. So,
I mean, have you seen his Instagram story? Like yesterday, it just was like him in his movie basement or movie area basement watching, and he filmed himself, and then he went in the backyard by himself and filmed something. It just seems so depressing and like just so random. I don't know about poor Ricky. I don't know. So who do you think is underperforming brand wise on tour?
I got a hot one. I'm gonna say Innova.
He took mine. I was gonna say Innova as well.
Depth of the team, man. I feel like they have. If you think about 5 years ago and you think about any given lead card, 3 guys on that lead card are throwing Innova, sponsored by them. It's like obviously Calvin himself is not underperforming, but the team of Innova. I mean, they have Calvin. That's all they got.
Matt, what's your thing?
Innova, absolutely. I think same deal. Depth of field. Who do you even think of that's on Innova? I think of more like FPO players than I do MPO players on Innova. That's crazy. Yeah, like all we have is like Calvin. Okay, technically have like Sexton and people like that, but they don't like qualify when we're talking about how they're performing on tour because that's not Sexton's primary output there. So we have Calvin and we have Bradley. Who else do we have?
I mean,
like
technically,
Greg, technically as well, but
technically you have Sexton and Big Germ on lead card every single week.
That is true. That's a good point.
So
that's what I'm saying. Though that's crazy because I bet if you took like I don't even know if you rated the how well, if there was some metric to rate how well players were doing for Innova, you would have Sexton and Big Germ practice rounds probably doing the same amount as some of the actual stuff on tour. That's insane in my head at least, but I don't know.
I think sorry guys, give me 1 second here. I gotta get this up on my phone.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, there we go. There it is. I was waiting for it, and there's the moment. This is, I don't know what you guys think about this. Latitude 64, underperforming.
No, because the only person I know on Latitude 64 is Kristen. So,
I know. And I get that, but she's the only one holding down the fort there. But if you look at MPO wise, I guess all their guys are over in Europe, but still, they don't have guys in the top 20 on tour. The only other guy that's up there is Lowry Lettinen. He's up there, but he's overseas. I couldn't even tell you another guy who is sponsored by Latitude 64 that plays MPO that's a decent player. So I think I'm really shocked that we haven't seen last year. My brother and I were discussing. This was earlier in the year, but we were discussing that Latitude 64 was going to sign Gannon Burr because they need a big name player. It feels like on the MPO. I feel like they have all this money now too. They should sign someone, but I don't know how that works with Trilogy and everything. But it seems like Latitude 64 needs a big name guy to start pushing their plastic near the top because. I don't know. I guess Kristen's doing a good enough job for them, and they're getting their bang for the
I wonder
buck,
too
but-
if it's harder for them with Ricky throwing some of their discs. Like I feel like the closest is that Ricky throws some Latitude molds. So I wonder if it's harder to be like, yo, we should go spend a ton of money on somebody at MPO, and they already have some representation. It's just not like a pure solo sponsor kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like Matty-O throws the Rive and the Grace. So does Ricky. Ricky throws the Rive. And there's another thing. I mean, so I don't know. It just feels like.
What does Rive mean?
You've arrived, baby.
It's actually the name of a Frisbee. I don't know if you know this or not, but that's what it is there. I have no clue. I could not tell you what that means.
I was trying to open up. I put my heart on my shoulder, trying to get an answer, a sincere answer out of you guys, and yet you just make fun of me. You make fun of me.
To split or tear apart violently.
Fun of me.
To split or tear apart violently is what a Rive is.
There you go. See,
which is probably also what would happen if you hit someone with one. But
violently.
Yeah.
Wow. So. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they're underperforming in general, but then they have Kristen. So it's kind of like a hot take.
So now that Trilogy and multiple others are owned by House of Discs, should we call it Saga?
Yes. I'm all about it.
Because it's not Trilogy anymore.
That'd be awesome.
Start calling it that, Corey. Go for it.
Be the change.
Yeah. But I prefer House of Dicks.
Yeah. Compliments of Brody Smith.
Yeah. Dude, this dick plastic is feeling really good.
Yes. You know what? It happens. It slips. Yep. It slips. All right. So who is no. Okay. Who is overperforming? What company is overperforming on tour where you're like, they should not be playing this well on tour, but their plastic is so good because of how well their players are doing?
Prodigy Discs.
Yeah, that was mine.
Absolutely.
So, I just want to say something real quick before Corey says it. Prodigy Disc, I had it up in front of me. Their fan voting was an average of 4.11. Which is like, I guess it's the whole Ganon situation, but people who are voting that Prodigy is not good are literally dumb. I want to say a different word, but I don't want to be inappropriate because I love all people, but you're literally dumb if you think Prodigy is not good plastic. Like I already said, the 400G is underrated. And also, I want to throw this out there. I throw a Shadowfax now in a 500 plastic, and that stuff from China, the 500 plastic, is so good. It's my favorite plastic that I have. I'm scared to try other stuff, but yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but China is like the #1 place to like make plastic.
Ikun plastic is really good, honestly.
No. I'm not even talking about disc golf. I'm talking literally like everything that's made out of plastic is from China. So you can't go wrong. I'm gonna say MVP.
What?
I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming.
Matthew, look me in the eyes and tell me that you thought the first season. Let me get in here. The first season. Sorry, I'm yelling too. The first season that Simon was throwing MVP, he was going to be winning Pro Tour stops.
Are we saying winning? Am I missing a Pro Tour stop that he's won? What am I?
D-Glow?
I'm saying that's it, right? Am I missing another one?
Music City.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but that's just Simon Lizotte. That's all. Bro, on Prodigy, we have Isaac, Ezra, and Ganon clutching up for Prodigy right now.
Parker.
I forgot about Parker. My bad,
Kevin
Parker.
Jones.
AJUSA.
Wait a minute. So Kevin Jones, someone who's like reputable for being like in competition.
Don't talk bad about Kevin.
Yeah, don't.
No, I'm saying like he's already really good. Ganon, the kid who like popped off at the end of last season and everyone was like, oh, going into this season, he's like #1 already. Isaac, who won last year and then continued to win this year. I don't think it's like
Okay, I am fine with your MVP, but your MVP is only relating to Simon.
So you're
That's
telling
no one else. Like, no offense. That's all they got.
Come on, don't do
That's
my
all
boy
they
James
got.
like that.
I mean,
Don't do my boy James like
compared
that.
to the fandom survey, like how popular the plastic is to like how their performance is on tour, like you're kind of swaying my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I mean,
I can
even Simon
agree.
with 2 wins, like,
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of it in the wrong way, but in my head, it's like you kind of have to discount Simon as far as like wins go because he's going to be popular regardless. Like, obviously, you know, he did some really cool stuff, but like,
I'm going off of the base that outside of Simon, if Simon wasn't on there, name 3 people on MVP.
James Conrad,
Sarah Holcomb, because
Raven Newsom. I actually did know a third name, but I won't take that one. I'm not disagreeing with you, but that's like, bro, they're also paying Simon, we think, like $1 million a year. Like, that's
cool. No one thought he was going to win as much as he did first season with an entirely brand new bag.
I don't disagree with you necessarily that no one expected that. But when we're saying the most, the most change there, like, come on, you have to give it a little bit of like.
Hold on.
He changed the most. He was like, oh, this disc is kind of cool. I wonder what it's called.
Yeah, that is true.
He didn't even know what half his bag was
I'm taking it on
he was like, ooh, I like this one
basis.
because it's white and it goes straight. That's cool.
I was taking it on performance basis here, comparing like Isaac has 2 majors this year.
Isaac has been throwing Prodigy for how long?
Okay, you're relating this into it.
I have to get into this now. If you're telling me that Prodigy was supposed to win like the way they were supposed to win, then your opinion about Discraft should mean that they underperformed with the team that they have, because they did nothing this year and they have this monster team. Okay, they have a major. Adam Hemis won this year. I get that, but I feel like they've got this monster team and they did nothing. I feel like Prodigy, like,
didn't Corey win the European Open too? That's
what I'm saying. They have a major.
Yeah,
so I get that, but like, I just feel like Prodigy like overperformed in the sense that like they keep winning everything off the basis of like small contracts. These guys have been throwing it forever. These young guns that they sign, it's like sign a bunch of like young minor league players to like a long contract or like, you know, and they all exactly, and they all pan out. Like, I just think they're overperforming on the basis of they have all these young guys and I don't think they're going to be sticking around forever. This is what Prodigy does historically, is they have these guys who throw their plastic, they do well, and then they go on to other things. So I feel like Prodigy is out kicking their cover with the fandom being a 4, which we don't know why exactly, but I just feel
we do.
Why?
Tyler said it because they're dumb.
There was a lawsuit.
Yeah, but that can't be. So we're just going to say that
Prodigy plastic for a while though. With like
but the lawsuit certainly doesn't help. I've talked to people who right now tell me they still hate and will not throw Prodigy because of the Gannon lawsuit.
Ridiculous, in my opinion. By the way,
that is crazy. I agree with that. But like, they're saying this and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, what if Gannon goes back to Prodigy this year? What would you do? Like, what would? And they're like, well, I would probably never support Gannon again. And I'm like, he's like 18 years old or whatever. He's a kid. He can make a little mistake here, you know, like, but they're so hard fast on that so late in the year.
Are we sure he's actually that young?
Who, Gannon?
He's been hanging out with Stokely, and that's like not something.
That's weird.
Like, I think he's secretly like 45.
He got a new dad, is what he did. Like, wait, what? They're like hanging out like all the time. Like, I wonder if he had to like get his mom's permission before he went and did this.
No, you didn't see. There was a video of them all eating like Texas Roadhouse afterwards or something.
I know. So interesting. By the way, the fun fact, real quick, I'm looking at the fandom survey that they have this. Out of all the names of the list of manufacturer, Lonestar is the most bought from Silent and Boomer generation. Prodigy is second, right there in the silent boomer generation of being the most bought by that generation. So I don't know because that would make sense. Like, well, hold on, let me back up.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know.
I get you. I'm just that
I
seems
feel like
crazy,
DD's the grumpy old man brand, though. In my mind.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Or just Innova, I guess.
But like, if we're talking about how like if younger people are saying that like, oh, we hate Prodigy because of the whole Ganon lawsuit thing, but yet on here it's saying that like a majority of the people who are older bought Prodigy. I don't know how they figure that out. I guess that's on the survey. Yeah, sample size of 125 people who. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm looking at numbers here now. 125 people who did that fandom were considered silent or boomers, and it looks like they're throwing a lot of Prodigy, or whatever the case may be. We're going down a rabbit hole here. Goodness gracious.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's
Sorry.
I don't know. No. I think that's reasonable, but
so Corey, I would agree with you though. MVP kicked their cover, in my opinion, based off what you said. Matt, what was your who outperformed this year?
I don't actually. I think I said Prodigy as well, in my head.
Yeah,
but I think I'm viewing it as like how much do I think these people are getting paid versus the amount of wins they're bringing in. And just like, you know, and that's why I felt, that's why I was so aggressively against Corey's thing, because like we know how much Simon's getting paid. But I understand what Corey's saying from the perspective of just like straight, I'm getting this.
I will kill you.
Bro, come on now. Don't do me like that.
Chance Parker Welk wins on tour again.
I don't know.
159.
I believe it.
I love it.
He loves life though, man. I don't know if he's going to be really practicing. He is vibing, big time vibing. All right. That was awesome, by the way. I've been waiting to see that happen for a long time. All right. So last thing we want to talk about, we're just going to throw it out there. A lot of people are moving around. A lot of people are possibly going to a different company. So where do you think what players are going where? Do you have an opinion about who might go where?
I can run you through some names right now, and you guys tell me the first
company name that you think of when you think of this person moving. Spit it out. Say a name, Matthew.
All right, Tristan Tanner.
Staying
at Latitude. Franklin Discs.
Where he's at Latitude?
He's at Latitude right now.
He's staying.
I think he'll stay.
Yeah, I'd probably agree
Dynamic Discs.
Yes.
All right. Let's keep ripping this. Paige Shu. She's currently with Discraft.
Staying.
She's probably staying.
Because she's so involved with Ledgestone sponsorship.
Yeah. Let's see. Austin Hannum is currently with DGA.
Staying.
Okay.
Is Katrina Allen's thing up?
No.
Well,
she
then
sounds
he's staying.
She sounds like a 3-year contract. I think.
No. Katrina Allen is up this year.
Oh, really?
With DGA. 2023 is the end of her contract year.
You're right. She signed a 1-year contract.
Yeah. Where do you think Katrina's going, Corey?
Pat and Hannum back to Prodigy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Whoa.
All right.
That could be true.
Let's hit the big hitters here.
Hold on. Is there a big Prodigy FPO player at all? I guess the only one I can think of is Caroline Henderson, right?
Gannon Burr.
Gannon Burr is there last year. I think only Caroline Henderson is who I think of.
Yeah.
But she's gone.
And Leke just left.
Yeah, Leke just didn't leave.
Where is she going?
I think she's going to. People have been saying Innova. I think she's going to Innova. Just go with Bradley. It makes sense. Okay.
Bradley leaves.
Aaron Gossett. She's currently at Discraft. Where is he going?
Staying, we think.
DGA.
I was gonna say DGA was literally coming out of my mouth, man.
Okay. Holland Hanley, also at Discraft, contracts up this year. Where's she going?
I've thought about this one.
I actually think DGA would be a good result here, potentially.
Mint discs.
DGA for Holland.
Holland? I think she's staying.
She might stay, but I would say.
I think she's staying too, but she could have a payday.
Yeah, that's true.
I can see her throwing DD. Like
she was there. She would be going back then.
Was she there?
Yeah.
Before, yeah.
Oh man. Was I sleeping?
Probably. Under that rock again.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. Gavin Babcock was with Prodigy to Discmania for a 1-year contract. Is he going to leave or stay?
Could you imagine if all of the buddies, the Prodigy buddies, went to Discmania and he went back?
Holy,
there's no way.
They're all starting their own company.
All right, let's hit here. Who do I want to hit? Haley King.
You want to hit Haley King? That is so mean.
No. Haley King. Where is she? Is she staying? Is she going? She's at Innova currently.
She's staying. She just
I also think she's staying. Bradley Williams, 1-year contract with Innova is up. Is he staying or going?
Staying.
I love how any pro that is from or has affiliations with Texas, everybody's like Lonestar. He's going.
Yeah, bro.
This man lives in Texas. He's going to Lonestar.
The big one, in my opinion, is Alden. His contract's up with Prodigy this year.
Discmania.
Allegedly, Alden's been joining some Discmania group chats or groups to buy Discmania discs. So that could be the case there. That could definitely be reasonable.
Actually, I need to build up my team. DGA.
Okay.
I don't really know.
I think Gaten and Alden are staying. I think they're just trolling.
Alden is starting to create a following.
Alden is.
Yeah,
I agree.
So I don't know what Prodigy. I don't know.
Emerson Keith, his contract's up with Lonestar this year. Is he going anywhere?
My thing is, all right, we talked about Innova everywhere, but why would Innova sign him? I don't know. Is he going to get really more money at Innova than he is over at Lonestar? Or a better stipend or whatever the case may be?
Is he from Texas?
Yeah.
What about Mint? Isn't Mint in Texas?
In Austin.
Yeah.
He could go to Mint.
Yeah, I'm in the same way. Like, that's obviously like heavily speculated he's going to Innova, but like, I mean, he got a win, so I feel like he's gonna want to negotiate a bigger contract. But like, no disrespect, realistically, who's paying Emerson Keith?
I know.
Bro, you're so wrong for that one.
I'm sorry, but like,
what's crazy about Emerson is for a while there he was like a Worlds boy, where he would be like leading Worlds after like 3 rounds. Yeah, exactly. And he also won this year. So like Emerson is just like all over the place.
I don't know what to think about Emerson either. Paige Pierce.
Oh, staying. Not even a question.
Yeah, I think they have to keep her.
Too many named discs.
Yeah, it's either she stays or
back to Prodigy.
She goes, and I get all of her discs.
Or even DD. I didn't realize she was at DD until like last year.
What if they put her on DGA
with Cat?
No, because Cat's leaving. I always thought maybe like, yeah. What if they took some big names off of Discraft, and they were like, you could still throw Discraft, but you're on DGA because we want them to like make more of our plastic. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I will say, Cole in his recent video when he was talking with Bedanza, he was like, "Yeah, I could throw more Discraft if I wanted, but I think DGA has good molds, and I like that they've supported me. So why would I not try and support them?" Right. It was a very like new out. Like I think that's probably the outlook that's been there, but like a very nice outlook on that. He was like, I like what I'm doing. Why would I not try and support them? But unrelated.
What about, let's just say he has to move. Where would James Proctor go? I feel like if Innova is ever going to make a move on somebody,
I feel like he has to go back to Innova just because I know he had a lot of trouble like replacing Innova for most of the season, I feel like.
And he's so good. I think he's going to pop off this year. I just have that feeling.
Hear me out. James Proctor to MVP.
I could see it.
Proctor to MVP.
I think he's going to MVP, actually. I'm sorry.
Who do you think? Go.
Christopher Clemens.
That would be kind of crazy.
What would he be throwing? What's his forehand disc?
I'm basing that purely off him and Castro are like really close.
That's true.
Hey, but also
what is his
fireball forehand?
What's his forehand?
He doesn't throw a felon though. He throws like a defender. So
That's
like,
true. He's like triple X guy.
You know what I'm saying? He's got the option to throw every high-speed MVP driver that's really narrow or really shallow. He can just rip whatever.
Defender's like a 13.504 maybe. I don't know. Now we got to look it up.
Nitro.
Is that out of production?
No.
Okay.
All right.
That's one of the. I'm pretty sure I showed you that last time.
I will say Christopher Clemens.
We talked about it. It was in one of your videos. I think.
All
right, so Defender is what I thought. It's a 13.503. I was just afraid to say it.
Okay, then it's either a Nitro or something else that sounds really cool.
Defy.
I was also going to say Defy, but I don't know what the
when it's
numbers are.
announced. Christopher Clemens is on the way out.
He can have. We have Taylor's clip, and we
say that again. It's official. You were being official.
It's official from my speculation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
CC minus DD plus MVP.
There it is.
I actually don't mind. I don't mind that at all, Taylor. That's not bad at all there.
I'm trying to look at some names here.
I'm trying to look at any other big ones. The way this is still registering
is moving.
DGA.
Can he though?
Contract's up this year.
Yeah, his contract's up. It would be very smart if someone could snag Eagle. Could Eagle go to Latitude 64?
I think if
Eagle go to MVP?
I think if Eagle was going to move the deal, either it's not going to happen or the deal had to be done early, because if I'm Eagle, I'm not getting shoulder surgery if I know that like I've got a new deal coming up. Like that would have to be done before I get surgery, where like I know I'm good for like 4 years.
I feel like the question is who's more profitable at selling disc? Is it going to be Gannon or is it going to be Eagle? And Eagle's already made a name for himself.
That's true.
So it's so hard, and he's got so many discs already and everything. By the way, side rant real quick. I think it's hilarious how Casey White has been like their poster boy this past off season for some reason with throwing all their discs. It's like, no offense, Casey, but like he hasn't played well. Like he can't be the one showcasing the Skywalker and all these discs and whatnot.
You're like taking shots in this podcast.
Yeah, I am.
I like Casey White, man. Come on.
I listen. I'm just saying, like they're pushing. Like, why are we not pushing like a better player, like at least Kyle Klein? I guess Kyle's not good in front of a camera. He's super awkward
because he's from Wyoming.
Why are we not pushing? Why are we not pushing Silas Schultz? Is the real question,
that
bro.
Is a
for
fact.
Sure. That is a big fact.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm saying he's not necessarily popping off anywhere, but he's just so good in front of a camera, and he has photography.
Was electric. That Worlds run, the push he made at Worlds was electric. That was the most fun, like watching disc golf I had this year for sure.
And also when like they asked Simon recently, like whose game do you think? Oh, it was when he was on Tour Life. They were like, what game? Who's someone's game right now? You're like, that's nice. And he was like, Silas Schultz. He was like, he's got the best form. And I was like, whoa, like, that's high praise, dude, from Simon. So yeah, Silas he's got great form. He rips, and he's like super cool, man.
Yeah,
big fan.
Going back to the poster child thing, I think it's Casey White because he posts videos like every week. Yeah. Eagle does sometimes, but
Eagle's got to stop.
I also just looked. Eagle's at like 74K, and Casey White's only at 27. But I feel like it should be the other way around.
I mean, I think it's just been built up over the years because of his.
I say Eagle used to be a lot more active on YouTube and stuff than he has been the past couple of seasons.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you a question. You guys, we're kind of going off a side tangent here, but I'm really curious because I'm relatively new. Is Eagle more likable now than he was like 5 years ago?
I think he's still awkward as heck, man.
I think he's slightly less likable now than he was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Eagle fan either, so that's why.
I mean, I like Eagle, but I think before he had kind of what Gannon has now, where it's like, oh, flashy kid, super sick talent and everything. And I feel like it's not that he's gotten worse. Like he's probably arguably gotten better. He's just not the flashy new guy on tour currently.
Yeah. I also think he's not on lead or chase card enough for you to like want to root for him. Not that you don't want to root for him, but like
he's kind of on the other side where like he used to have really low expectations and outperform those, and now he's got really high expectations and is underperforming.
Yeah, he's got a great style though. Oh my gosh.
I got my last question real quick. Who wins the world's first, Ganon or Simon? Or not Simon, sorry. Ganon or Eagle?
I think Ganon.
I think Eagle.
You think Eagle?
I think whoever's throwing the 2022 putter of the year,
Yo, Ganon
the birdie
to
marble.
Confirmed.
We literally are like all throwing money at Ganon so he'll come to birdie. We started GoFundMe for his salary.
Everyone donates $10 from foundations, subscribers. We can get Ganon to birdie. Let's go.
I think we need to push for not sponsored by Birdie itself, but the podcast should be sponsored by the Birdie Marvel.
Yeah.
Not the company, just the Marvel.
What plastic? Yes.
All of this.
Yes. All of the plastics.
No, I already talked to DGA, and they're perfectly fine with Ganon also putting with a Marvel while he's on DGA. So it's
exactly what we're looking for.
I just got off the phone with him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good segue to wrap up because we've definitely put in our fair share for missing last week as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed.
I was here.
What do you mean?
I was literally sitting in a pool waiting for you guys to get on here.
Oh man!
Could you imagine that podcast if that happened?
That would have been amazing.
Can you imagine logging into the ninja room and Corey is just on there? Like you're just logging in to mess with your own settings.
He's just there.
And Corey's just posted up. How scared would you be?
It's just. Hey.
Corey's wilding out. So, all right, everybody, make sure you leave a like. We appreciate that. Subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment. Let us know about some of your opinions about the plastics. I think I'm really curious to see what people think. And, we want to give a shout out to Foundation as well for bringing us together. We always want to give them a shout out. You can go to foundationdisc.com to get all your disc needs and wants and everything. And they got a ton of stuff going on. But we'll see you guys next week. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.